Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Zach's Credit Card Guide. Today we're talking about some outstanding new bonus offers on the Chase Freedom and the Freedom Unlimited. If you are new to the channel, we do a lot of cool credit topics, card reviews, and redemptions, so make sure to hit that subscribe button. But let's get started. So guys, quick video. What we're talking about today are nearly historically high offers on both the Chase Freedom and the Freedom Unlimited. Now, we're not doing a deep dive on these cards because I'm assuming you've heard of them before, but just very briefly, the Chase Freedom is a 5% rotating category card, and the categories typically include restaurants, gas stations. The holiday season is usually something shopping focused like Walmart, Target, department stores, Amazon, stuff like that. So every 3 months, it's new categories that you can earn 5% back on. The Freedom Unlimited is a 1.5% on all purchases card. So these work great as part of a Chase system if that's what you're focused on. So you put the Chase Freedom in your wallet when those categories are relevant to you, and then the Freedom Unlimited becomes your catch-all card. So that becomes kind of your workhorse. That's what most of your spending goes on, again, if you're running a primarily Chase setup. That's typically what I do. Right now I'm experimenting with American Express, but typically my favorite system is my Chase system, where I have the Chase Ink Cash, the Sapphire Reserve, the Freedom, and the Freedom Unlimited. So depending on what transaction I'm doing, I use the appropriate card. It's not as hard to keep track of as it sounds at first. It's really not a big deal. So anyway, if you are under 524, and if you need a refresher on what that means, I'm going to throw a card right there for you. Go watch that video. But basically, in a nutshell, you can only have opened 4 or fewer new credit cards in the past 24 months to apply for these cards. If you have opened 5 or more new credit card accounts in the past 24 months, don't even bother applying for these cards. It's a wasted inquiry. You will be denied. There's nothing you can do about it. So again, if you're unfamiliar with 524, that's the gist, but go watch that video. So anyway, if you are under 524, these are fine cards to pick up if you want to focus on Chase's UR points, which are very valuable. Most folks value them about 1.6 cents a piece, but it very much depends on how you want to use them. One of my favorite redemptions for Chase points, which is kind of why they're my favorite, well, one reason, is that you can transfer them to Hyatt. Now, Hyatt is a fine hotel chain. I've stayed in a lot of their hotels, especially since starting this game, and you can get their redemptions for a pretty low number of points, which is why they're great. They start at like 5,000 points for a fine hotel room. And also Southwest is a great transfer partner for flights as well. So Southwest and Hyatt make Chase an awesome system. Now, I don't want to go off into a tangent about why Chase is awesome and UR points and everything else. That's a different video. But today what we're talking about is elevated offers on the Freedom and the Freedom Unlimited. Now, typically they have been pretty steady, offering 15,000 UR points as a sign-up bonus, typically for $500 in spend. Now, if you transfer that straight to cash, it's $150. But again, depending on how you use them, if you are going to use these points as part of a system, the value is kind of a wild card. You could get all sorts of different valuations. Now, they're both offering 20,000 points as a sign-up bonus for the same $500 in spend in the first 3 months. Now, I don't know about you, but I consider spending $500 in 3 months a really easy sign-up bonus to hit. I don't really care who you are. I think that's pretty great. Even looking at the cash option, let's just say you wanted to take these points as a statement credit, you're going to get $200, which is a 40% return on your spend. That kind of ratio is really as top as you're going to get. Now, of course, I don't advise that. I would recommend researching your points and how to use them efficiently. But again, it's all about you and what you want to do. But you're going to get at least $200 in value out of these points, again, for spending only $500. Now, this is especially important on the Freedom because we haven't seen a bonus above the typical 15,000 in like 4 years. So that's very nice. So I would recommend, especially the Freedom, if you have been thinking about getting it, I would get it now because we don't know if this bonus is ever going to come around again. Again, it's been pretty steady for quite a long time. So if you do want the Freedom, I would recommend getting that one first, just to get it and get it out of the way. Now, with the Freedom Unlimited, we saw an elevated bonus very briefly last winter. I think it was only about a month. There was an elevated bonus, but then it dropped right back down to 15,000 again. So Chase seems to have a habit of not raising the bonuses on these two entry-level cards very often, and when they do, it's very short-lived. Even the elevated bonuses on the Freedom 4 years ago were like for a month apiece. So here's what I would recommend. If you are under 524, I would just get both of these right away. You don't really need to be concerned about spending on 2 minimum spends at one time. I try to limit myself to 1 new card at a time because I want to make sure I hit the spend, but those are typically measured in the thousands of dollars. This is only $500 a piece, so I think for most people who are experimenting with this hobby could probably handle basically $1,000 in 3 months. The only thing to keep in mind is you do want to space out the chase applications a little bit. You will see some people, if you Google it, that say to combine hard inquiries. Now, briefly, what that means is sometimes when an issuer approves 2 credit applications on the same day, when they report the 2 inquiries to the credit bureau assumes it's a mistake and they just record 1. So sometimes you will see how people will say that X bank combines hard inquiries. That's entirely false. The bank has really nothing to do with it. It is the credit bureau that makes that decision what they're going to record. So that is something you can do if you are really worried about hard inquiries. You can try it. However, I would keep this in mind. This happened to me personally when I was getting started in this game. What Chase has started doing is that if you apply for 2 cards on the same day, it will trigger a manual review of your accounts and your application. Now that doesn't necessarily mean anything bad. What it means is that a credit analyst is going to take a magnifying glass to your credit report and your Chase accounts. Now the possible outcomes are they just leave the cards alone, not a big deal. They decide to chop the credit line on the 2 cards, which whatever, depending on what you get, may or may not be fine. Or they may call you and say, which one do you want to keep? We're only giving you 1. That's a possibility. Or the worst case, if your credit report and everything is especially sketchy, they could just shut down your Chase accounts. Now that is kind of a long shot, but again, it is a possibility for some folks. So here's what I'm going to tell you. Just space it out. I would recommend getting the Freedom first, since that elevated bonus only comes around once every 4 or 5 years. I would get that first, wait like 3 weeks, like 3 or 4 weeks, then go get the Freedom Unlimited. Yes, you're going to have 2 inquiries. Who cares? I don't know about you. I would rather just have 2 inquiries than have a credit analyst looking at my stuff with a magnifying glass. So do what you want to do, but that's what I would do and that's what I recommend. I play this game a bit more conservatively. I try to play it smart, fly under the radar. So that's all I've got for you this time, guys. These are basically historically high offers, and if the data shows us anything, it's that they're not going to stick around for very long. So if you do want to run a Chase setup and you're under 524, I would definitely pick up these cards. I do have my referral links down in the description. If you're gonna apply anyway, help a guy out. That'd be really cool. So again, my referral links are down in there. If you do use them, I thank you and I appreciate it. My question for you guys is, are you gonna pick these up? What do you think? Let me know down in the comments. But if you guys have any other comments or questions, I love hearing from you guys. Leave them down below. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up to let me know. And as always, if you haven't yet, please hit that subscribe button. That's all I've got for you this time, guys. See you at the next one. Hey, thanks for watching. Make sure to drop a comment down below and give the video a thumbs up. Here's some other videos that I think you'll really like. Make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future videos, and I'm on Facebook and Twitter as well. See you at the next one.